Hello everyone, I am Renowned Zero, and we are back again talking about some more Rippaverse Detractors as they have been essentially illegally obtaining Isom number 1, claimed that they were false DMCA strike, even though they were essentially pirating a comic, getting some scans of the comic and distributing them via website links, which is 100% illegal according to Twitter's terms of service. So we're going to start here from the pre-order campaign page. Campaign currently sitting at $2.1 million with 11,456 cover A sold, 11,844 cover B sold, 3,745 cover C sold, and 2,015 cover D sold, with over 2,048 total books donated, with a total purchase number of 17,491. Now, you can see my image here. I've received all 3 covers of the Isom number 2. Well, covers A, B, and C. I still have to get cover D and my short box, which I will be receiving from the campaign. And of course, they give you a hollow foil bookmark, which is fantastic. Now, moving over to Rippaverse Goalposts Twitter account. Follow them if you don't. Also follow them over on YouTube. We're going to talk about actual Fandom, who was temporarily suspended for violating federal copyright law by promoting said of pirated copies of Isom 1, and he admits that his actions were egregious and bad faith, which is crazy to me, coming out of the mouth of Dane from actual Fandom, but we'll take a listen here, and I will give my thoughts.
And we're gonna have to get to Mr. Brick too, by the way. Can't forget that, because he's going around striking DMCA striking motherfuckers left and right.
Yeah, we'll get to Mr. Brick, the guy that you can never stop talking about because you always have to talk about him in a negative light. Now, I talk about him in a positive light, and I'm sure there are people that are going to be saying, well, you talk about him all the time. Well, this is majority of what my content is, ripping on these haters and detractors and calling out the nonsense that these people like to spread, but let's get into it again.
He got my account on Twitter suspended until I deleted the offending remark.
Endless battle of striking.
Well,
the offending remark was you sharing links to a pirated version of Isom number 1. You were literally doing stuff that is illegal and against the terms of service of Twitter. But somehow they're false copyright striking you. No. They're not letting you get away with hurting the business.
So
let me defend him a bit, okay? And this is weird, but this post that I did is pretty egregiously fucking bad faith.
Let's not give him too much credit.
I found where there were 2 comic piracy websites that were both hosting Isom number 1. And I said, well, shit, I'm going to help him out and get me more eyeballs on that book. I'm
sure plenty of people can get eyeballs on the book by Eric July simply promoting his book on YouTube and Twitter. I'm sure he does plenty of marketing for the book. It is his passion project, and it is his work of art.
More people need to read it, right? Maybe they'll buy, maybe pump those number 2 sales numbers up.
But it surely won't pump up your subscriber base or your viewer counts on your live streams.
And so I made this image, and I made it look as close to an official image as I could. And I just started sharing it around saying, oh, look, wow, I can't believe he did that.
It's because you're a loser, you're a hater, you'll never create anything worth a damn, so you're just going to continue to hate on Eric July because you're some kind of white savior apparently for Eric, even though he's better than you in every way, more successful than you in every way. Even I'm more successful than you are.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before, like where someone came up with the idea of like linking to media like this. I mean, I can see why they were pissed.
You mean piracy? The piracy has been around for a while, dude. Somebody just came up with the idea to do piracy. That's something that's been around forever. What an idiot.
But
oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. Like, is this even covered under DMCA? Because I mean, like, it feels like a gray area, honestly.
This is definitely his image, and I could if I really cared enough, I could say it's a satire. I was satirizing a libertarian who would never give away his comic book for free, right? But
DMCA's are antiquated. By the way, I always talk down about them. I think it's a really bad system. They need something new, something different.
Victoria.
So you think it's okay for people to essentially pirate and steal material to hurt someone's business? Nice.
From VikkiVerse, she apparently, her account had the same. Yep, my same as mine was when I tried to log in yesterday. It was, your account has been locked because Twitter received a complaint, a compliant Digital Millennium Copyright Act notice for content posted to your Twitter account under the DMCA. Copyright owners can notify Twitter claiming that a user has infringed their copyrighted works upon receipt. So, I mean, you know, you can say the freaking N-word all you want and, you know, call trans people slurs and shit like that, but, like, you can't fucking...
Who's calling trans people slurs? Oh, yeah, you think the word weirdo is a slur. I forgot. You think the word weirdo is a slur, and fruit is a slur, apparently, according to you. That's what you think are actual slurs.
Post a...
I'll do a poll to see if...
Like, remember, this is a person that said the word idiot was a slur. This is the person that said it was okay to call Eric July that famous uncle. Because Eric July said the word idiot and fruit and weirdo, and he thinks those are slurs against anyone in the alphabet community. But I digress. If you want the full context, please check out the Rippaverse Goalposts Twitter YouTube account and go watch this video titled Rippaverse Haters Violate Copyright Laws. This will give you the full insight, or at least most of the insight on what went down. So, of course, Laza is calling for Eric July's videos to get mass support for copyright infringement. VikkiVerse is upset after facing consequences for violating federal copyright law by promoting pirated copies of Isom number 1. This is, of course, brought up by Ethan Van Sciver, saying to Jalda, the guy who got exposed for showing fake pages of Eric July's comic book, "There's no hypocrisy. Pay for the work. You have no right to support piracy, and nobody's obligated to grant you that right if they don't wish to. You are morally wrong. Eric July is 100% correct, and he's better than you in every conceivable way." It's also brought up by people like Vito, the guy who is essentially a concerned troll for the Rippaverse, who is always trying to bite at Eric July's ankles, trying to bring his business down, is very jealous and envious that he is seeing as much support as he is. He has an Eric July, that is, and he's sitting there coping and wondering why he cannot see the same type of success. Well, for one, just as a reminder of people who have been here before, and I'm sure the people who don't know this, so I have to say it, Vito supported the movie Cuties on Netflix. He was all for that movie. And you wonder why you have no support. And that is why they call you Pedo Vito. Moving on to VikkiVerse. Talking about how Eric July is such a fragile bitch. He DMCA'd fair use commentary. No, he did not. No, he did not. This is her showing that she was locked out of her account for violating a rule on Twitter. Of course, everyone, they have to put their stuff here to do the copyright. It's his prerogative to punish you for sharing pirated images of his comic. Pay for the book. Normally, I would agree, but Eric is an anarcho-capitalist, which specifically does not recognize intellectual property as being legitimate property. Where it's possible this was done by his team without his notice when they should be reversed. I mean, his name is on it. He owns the copyright. The story content isn't an IP, it's a literal property. How would he handle someone else making an Isom comic? So if there were scans from the physical book, this would be okay, or should I use cell phone pics for my review post on it? Since their images aren't what he's so fragile about. It's negative since he did this for others who even got legit last year. When you do a review, you typically would just do a video. I mean, you don't have to show every single thing. You can just show a picture of the book itself, the cover of the book. That's public knowledge. That's out there. Right? You could just simply do that. But we also have people like PumaFist who want to respond to Eric July's Warehouse video, which I showed yesterday about the supposed apology, which was just an apology for having the worst detractors in the world. we'll go ahead and take a listen here.
I accept your apology. Maybe next time, don't show some bullshit fucking drone footage that you think is gonna look fucking awesome.
Well, it looked pretty awesome for a lot of people who saw it.
When you clearly got something else going on, right? Now, that being said, you still got a lot of wasted space, bub. Still got a lot of wasted space. Especially...
Sounds like an opinion, buddy.
With those tubs that you got. Man, come on, what are you doing? What are you doing with that? Sticking those in those fucking racks that way. That's a completely useless way to use your space. Those tubs can be stacked against a wall, literally. Like, no need for the rack to take up space. What are you doing? What are you doing? Come on, man. Get it together.
Again, these are all opinions you're allowed to have, by the way.
Grown-ups are talking. Puma fist out.
You're not exactly a grown-up there, buddy, but you can claim that you are. But we also have Mr. Dick Masterson, who felt the need to chime in on this. His supposedly intelligent self. You know, the guy that should have a lot of money and could pay for the book, correct? He could pay enough for the book to essentially review it and actually review it, give real criticism, not these fake criticisms that he's brought out and told people. But of course, you knowingly filed a false DMCA complaint to silence a critic. No, he didn't. And you did it to a smaller critic because you couldn't get away with doing it to a bigger one. You complete piece of crap. Apparently, these are the things. These are panels from the book, dude. These are panels from the book. So you essentially are showing digital scans of the book. And she doesn't even own the book. She's made it clear and confirmed that she does not own the book. She did not buy the book. Plenty of times. You can Google read Isom online, you jackass. No one is piecemeal sharing it on Twitter in broken ciphers like the Da Vinci Code. Well, good for you, bud. Good for you. DMCA'd for sharing multiple full pages and core plot points directly from the pirated site mentioned by Crack Smoker number 2. Patently false. There are 0 plot points in Isom number 1. Again, that's your opinion. Your reading comprehension is absolute dog shit because you can't see a plot. I'm sorry. You're really bad at trying to claim that there's no plot in Isom 1. You've shown to the world that your reading comprehension is below 0. Let alone core plot points. But he also says this. If I can find it. Good idea. I'm going to stream a fair use legal read-through of Isom number 2 when someone finally sends me a scanned copy. So, this is an oxymoron considering that it's not fair use if it's a scanned copy, dummy. Oh man, you're so stupid, I swear. You're the worst at hiding how much you love to hate on Eric July. Of course, wouldn't you like to know? Chimes in. Shout out. You all got in trouble for pirating. Keep it up and you all will just get into trouble again. And of course, this person, how much is Eric paying you? It's like, so a fan of Eric July and a fan of his comic just can't call out your nonsense without being paid? Apparently that's what it is with me. Apparently I do weird things to defend this book, I guess. I can't just be a fan of the man and his work without it being some weird fantasy these people have about me. You're a liar and a false flagger. Pirating is illegal. That's not a lie. Oh, and flagging people who do it is completely justified. 100% true. Not our fault. You can't handle it. And he shares the actual thing about piracy here. You can pause the video and read it yourself. But, and of course, the pencil inker of Isom makes a joke about wait until we grift you for issue number 3 because these haters call us all a grift. Meanwhile, people are literally putting out pictures of receiving real product, as well as the fact that Eric July has held the product himself before it even got into the hands of the customers and the fans. Yes, I will gladly, quote-unquote, get grifted for issue number 3 just to piss these people off. At the end of the day, it's all illegal. Stop sharing pirated garbage. Just because you hate somebody and you want to hurt their business, it's called don't look at it. It's called don't bother doing what you're doing just because you hate somebody. If you want to review the book, just buy it. Stop being a brokey and just pay the money for the book like everybody else does. And I'm sure Eric will be just fine if you pay for the book and you want to review it on your channel and monetize it. Thank you for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit that like button, comment below what you feel about all this, subscribe for more content, hit the bell for notifications, set the bell to all. That way you get notifications anytime I post a new video, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.